Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And boy, do we have a lot to get to this hour. The number to reach me, 800-848-9222. FBI Director Christopher Wray has resigned. The feds are quite quiet on the drone activity in New Jersey, but they're stating that it's not from Iran, the way that a local congressman is claiming. Governor Murphy says the mystery drones are very sophisticated. We're also going to deal with this hour the alleged killer of the CEO, the healthcare CEO. He considered using a bomb, apparently, but then decided on the shooting because he didn't want to hurt anyone that he felt did not deserve it. Fingerprints of the suspect match those found on a water bottle and Kind bar wrapper. Lots to get to this hour. The situation with the rappers, P. Diddy, also Jay-Z. Oh, it's starting to get very, very nasty, as we knew that it would. But let's start with the FBI Director Christopher Wray out. And it looks like President-elect Trump is going to get the man that he wants in the job. And so this is a report from Fox News.
FBI Director Christopher Wray has announced that he is going to be ending his tenure as the FBI Director earlier than the end of his 10-year term, which, again, is not surprising, as Donald Trump has said he wants Kash Patel to head up the FBI in the new administration. David Spunt, live at the Justice Department with the breaking news for us. David?
Well, John, Christopher Wray, the FBI director, is making this announcement right now in an all-staff town hall with thousands of FBI employees across the country. He says now is his time to go. As you mentioned, he has a 10-year term. All FBI directors do. He was 7 years into his 10-year term, and realistically, he had two options. Wait to be fired by President-elect Donald Trump because Trump announced Kash Patel would take over, or bow out before. He has chosen to bow out before. Wray is a former Republican lawyer, former DOJ prosecutor here in Washington, D.C., hired by Trump in 2017 after Trump fired James Comey after the entire Russia investigation probe. And Wray pretty much stayed out of the headlines as much as he could, at least. But in 2022, former President Trump became increasingly angry when the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago during the classified documents investigation. Of course, that was ordered by Attorney General Merrick Garland, who oversees the Justice Department, not Christopher Wray. But nonetheless, Christopher Wray saw the future and saw that it is his time to go. So he will be stepping down as Kash Patel, the upcoming FBI director, if confirmed, is on Capitol Hill.
And so the president-elect it appears that he's going to get the director at the FBI that he wants. Also, as we continue to talk about this, justice prevails. Justice prevails for Hero Marine Daniel Penny, found not guilty. Penny talking to Judge Janine, a wonderful person, Judge Janine, and Penny stating that he could not live with the guilt if Jordan Neely had hurt subway passengers.
I mean, I'm not a confrontational person. I don't really extend myself. I think this type of thing is very uncomfortable. All this attention and limelight is very uncomfortable, and I would prefer without it. I didn't want any type of attention or praise, and I still don't. Mm-hmm. The guilt I would have felt if someone did get hurt, if he did do what he was threatening to do, would never be able to live with myself. And I'll take 1 million court appearances and people calling me names and people hating me just to keep one of those people from getting hurt or killed.
The Marine did the right thing and justice prevails. I don't care what the racial arsonists say. Now to the shooter. We see all your calls. We'll get to them momentarily. We'll get to your calls in just a second. But the CEO, the murder of the healthcare CEO, podcaster Joe Rogan, blasting the healthcare insurance industry after the murder of CEO Brian Thompson. And this is going to be soundbite number 2.
There's cameras everywhere now, and that's part of the problem with someone. And I don't think this guy was a professional. I think this guy, if I had to guess, some guy who got over. Apparently that company is really bad on denying claims.
34% denial rate.
And normal's
like,
like 16. Yeah. So those guys.
I don't think anybody's going to like be crying too hard over that guy.
Yeah, maybe his family, but that's about it.
Yeah.
It's a dirty, dirty business. The business of insurance is fucking gross. It's gross. And especially healthcare insurance. Just fucking gross.
And there you have it from Joe Rogan. Meanwhile, one of the friends of the alleged shooter, or his friends, his acquaintances, have been appearing on national TV. And one friend that he lived with said he's not the same guy now that he was when they were roommates together.
Do you feel strange now that this guy who you lived 6 months with has now been picked up on murder charges?
I feel strange because he was a great friend, and I would consider him, a close friend, and that somebody who would assassinate somebody is completely incompatible with the person that I lived with, the person that I cooked meals with, the person that, was part of book club and other activities with. It's like two completely different human beings.
Yeah, that's why I asked you if he took drugs, because it looked like he snapped at some point and went haywire.
No doubt about it. This young man snapped from a very affluent family, and the indications are to me this guy wanted to be infamous. He wanted to be a star, so he got his wish. But deal with it, because now you're going to spend many years in jail. I'm going to get to the latest issue, prison rather, the latest issues as it relates to rappers Jay-Z, P. Diddy, and also the drones over New Jersey. But let's start with your telephone calls. And, of course, coming up at 50 minutes past the hour, Curtis Lewa. Let's start with your telephone calls, beginning with Carlos on line 4 in New Jersey. Carlos, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that Daniel Penny, the Marine guy, his killing has been a racist.
Wait, something is wrong with your phone. Something is wrong with your phone, Carlos. I apologize. You have to call us back. The phone is very bad. Let's go to Jacqueline in Brooklyn, line 5. Jacqueline, what's on your mind?
Dominic, what's on my mind is how the pitiful responses and the replies, both from Governor Murphy in New Jersey and also from the FBI regarding these drones. They started out in New Jersey. There were numerous drones. Now it's been reported in Staten Island, and I heard last night, and I looked it up, and I saw footage of videos that people had recorded in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn as well. 10 drones, and they look like they're coming from over the water area, which leads to either they're being launched from a ship or something like that. How does the FBI say, we have no idea what this is? And how does Murphy say, well, there's no danger to the public, with no explanation as to what these drones are?
Well, it's an ongoing situation, and I don't know, Jacqueline, if it's national security matter. I just don't know, but I want to listen, and thank you for the call, Jacqueline. I want to play what the FBI testified to, and also to listen to what Governor Murphy has had to say on this matter. And you can reach me at 800-848-9222. This is the FBI testifying before Congress on these drones in New Jersey.
What is going on in New Jersey?
So, sir, the FBI and our Newark field office, along with the state and local partners there, the Bureau is actively investigating the situation you mentioned, just the unexplained sighting of drone activity over that part of New Jersey, including proximity to sensitive sites and areas of concern.
So that said much about nothing there, right, from the FBI. Governor Murphy on this matter.
Why is it so hard to get answers? These are apparently as I understand it, very sophisticated. The minute you get eyes on them, they go dark. And, we're obviously most concerned about sensitive targets and sensitive critical infrastructure. So we've got military assets, we've got utility assets, we've got the president-elect's one of his homes here. This is something we're taking deadly seriously. We've gotten good cooperation out of the feds, but we need more, and that was my plea.
Governor Phil Murphy of New Jersey. And so what is it actually like to see these things? This is what some folks have been stating.
There they are. There they are. There they are. Marmora, New Jersey.
We shouldn't be outside.
Go. But here they are. They look like a triangle. They look like a triangle.
And so that's what some of the folks are saying, seeing these things. Let's go to line 2, Pete in Long Beach. Pete, what's on your mind?
What's going on, buddy? Yeah, my call is about these drones also because what kind of military do we have? If we have a foreign nation, which is our enemy's ships, off our coastline, putting drones in the air, how do you know they're not spraying poison on us at night? How do you know they're not listening to certain things? They're flying over Trump's properties. They're flying over the military bases and stuff. They should be shot out of the sky. Then you ask questions later. Who does this belong to? That's how you do it.
You know what, Pete? There's an argument to be made exactly for your point, which you are articulating. Thank you so much for the call. I mean, this is an issue that's becoming a big-time mystery. And, where are they coming from? The Pentagon denying that they are from Iran or from any other adversary. Let's continue with your telephone calls. Bill in Pittsburgh, line 4. Bill, what's on your mind?
Long-time listener, big-time fan.
Well, wonderful. Thank you, Bill.
I just think I have a solution to the problem of people suing Penny, of the parents suing Penny.
Okay, go ahead.
I think that some nonprofit foundation should collect the testimonies of the eyewitnesses who were in court, who were terrified, and they should sue the parents.
For what?
For negligence, for not dealing with. They can throw the book at them.
There's nothing to sue the parents for. I wish that you could. There's absolutely nothing to sue the parents for. Thank you for the wonderful call, though, Bill. I'm late for a break. I would love to engage with you, but I've got to take this break. And when we come back, more of your calls. Stay with us.
This is Dominic Carter. Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
You go from a hero to a villain when they say they're going to indict you.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
Obviously it's pretty nerve-wracking. It was very anxiety-inducing. Mm-hmm. But throughout this whole process, I would remind myself of the witnesses coming up to thank me. And really, no matter what outcome the trial had, I only cared about what the witnesses said about the situation. And I only cared about their opinions.
Judge Janine chatting in a Fox News interview with hero Marine vindicated Daniel Penny. We're going right back to your telephone calls as it relates to those drones. Coming up in about 25 minutes, Curtis Lewa will join me to discuss the issue. Congressman Jeff Van Drew says that they are from Iran. The Pentagon says, no, they are not. Here is what the congressman said to Fox News.
In focus now, Republican Congressman Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey, member of the House Judiciary Committee on the Hill right now. How do you address this at this point?
Well, here's the real deal, Harris. You know, I'm also on the Transportation Committee, on the Aviation Subcommittee, and I've gotten to know people. And from very high sources, very qualified sources, very responsible sources, I'm going to tell you the real deal. Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off, I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've launched drones, is everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are from high sources. I don't say this lightly.
But the Pentagon pouring water on what the congressman is stating, actually denying specifically that the drones in New Jersey are from Iran. Curtis Lewa will join me at 50 minutes past the hour. Right now, it's you and I together, line 4. Lauren in New Jersey. Lauren, what's on your mind?
Yes, Dominic. Well, first of all, Daniel Penny is a hero, and thank God that he is a free man. Okay, regarding the drones, there's an Australian journalist on News Nation, and he has a reality check program. He's Russ Coulthart, and he has a YouTube, and it's Mysterious Drones Swarm Military Bases. It's an incredibly informative YouTube. He does them frequently. He has the maps and showing where these drones have also been over the UK and many other countries. So it's been going on, and for the life of me and others that I've spoken to, I'm in the Morristown area near Bedminster, Trump's other home. And how could we not, with our satellites and technology, how could we not know where they're taking off from and returning?
It makes one wonder, correct, Lauren?
Oh, yes. So in watching this Russ Coulthart and his report on News Nation, anybody could watch this YouTube. And I actually called Curtis and Nancy the other night and shared it with them. So I noticed that the views of that YouTube have quadrupled since I had said anything.
Fair enough, Lauren. Thank you for the call. I'm not about promoting somebody's YouTube, but this is an issue that is not going away. I am coming right back.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Stop it.
And these nut jobs have not learned their lesson. The mentally ill on the subway. If you go to my Twitter, you go to my X at Dominic TV, I just reposted it again. This nut is terrorizing people on the train, and you hear the pow, pow, pow. That's him in a violent way in very close proximity to the faces of individual riders, acting like he's snapping someone's neck. And he's doing this over and over and over again. I want you to listen one more time. Absolute nut job on the subway after the Jordan Neely situation, and this is still going on. 800-848-9222. The problems for the rappers. Sunday evening, it broke. Jay-Z accused of raping, I believe 2 decades ago, a 13-year-old girl with P. Diddy, allegedly, and a famous female entertainer was there. Easily recognizable, according to the complaint. Jay-Z vehemently denying that he raped anyone. But think about this for a second. His daughter is 12 years old, and the alleged victim 1 year older than his daughter. So imagine the conversation that he had to have with his daughter, let alone Beyonce. And let me just say, I'm a big fan of Beyonce's, but I'm going to just leave it at that. All of this controversy that's coming out and all the names that are being mentioned in terms of sexual activity and crimes, I'm going to just leave it at that for the time being. But a woman, and she used to be a singer, her name is Jaguar Wright, and some of her postings are resurfacing online in which she claims Jay-Z has been doing these types of things for years.
I have a total of 9 witnesses that are about to start coming forward. I'm going to walk them one by one. But the things that these people have to tell and the video evidence and the recordings that they had, it's worse than Diddy.
Worse than Diddy. The latest allegation as it relates to Diddy. I mean, it's young girls one day, it's young boys another day. Today, it's a grown man. According to the man, and his voice is disguised out of embarrassment. According to the man, his allegation, P. Diddy gave him a drink directly. The man says he drank the drink and started to feel woozy. And he gave him another drink, and he said he thought it was just strong alcohol. And then, according to the complaint, he says P. Diddy then pushed him into a vehicle. And it got very, very ugly after that.
You allege that you were forcibly pushed into an SUV by Sean Combs. That act alone, according to your lawsuit, left you in considerable pain. And then once inside the vehicle, your lawsuit says plaintiff was held down by Combs, who overpowered him while he struggled to escape due to the effects of the drugs in his system. And it goes on to say that he sodomized you.
I was screaming. I was telling him to stop. It was incredibly painful. And he was acting like it was nothing. And he seemed to be disconnected from it. It was abusive beyond belief.
And so the allegation from this man is that P. Diddy, Sean Combs, gave him some type of concoction and a drink. The man had no control over himself. And according to the man, P. Diddy then raped him in an SUV. Let's continue with your telephone calls. But hey, you know what, folks? The racial arsonist over Daniel Penny. So with Dan Abrams, and we see your calls, we're going right back to them, on News Nation. One of these, Hawk Newsom, I think it's his wife, she goes on with Dan Abrams, and she says that it's proof that it was racist because black women were excluded from the jury because of their hairstyle. I'm not making this up.
A diverse Manhattan jury. Why is it? Well, it was 4 people of color. That's known typically as.
I was there during jury selection.
Whether it was
black women were shut out for having unconventional. There were 9 white jurors.
Sorry, is that what they said? They said it was for unconventional hair. Or you're just presuming that
it was unconventional hair.
A juror was dismissed for having unconventional hair.
Unconventional hair.
That's made up.
No, it's not.
Who said?
No, it's not.
Which lawyer said that?
The defense attorney.
Which one? He said what?
He said that she had unconventional hair because her hair was purple, that she would have unconventional thoughts. And that, were you in the courtroom?
No, I was not.
For 7 weeks?
I was not. But I understand. But the idea, right? Well, but again, the notion that she's being dismissed because of her hair. I assume you're assuming it's because of her race, right?
It absolutely was about weight.
Right.
Why was the expert jury consultant brought in who got off people for OJ, who had a racial child, who brought in Kyle Rittenhouse, a young man who bought an AR-15 and killed Americans exercising their
What does Kyle Rittenhouse have to do with this?
Because the jury expert who clearly got off Daniel Penny today, it's
the jury expert, not the jurors, right?
Jury expert.
Not the jurors who heard the case, right?
Cuckoo. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Andrew, line 3, Stanhope, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Andrew?
Right. The case, even though it was the correct ruling, I think it still causes that hesitation. I took the train first time in a long time into Brooklyn. Then on the way back, the train literally have it left to stop yet. And there were two guys screaming at each other on the platform. Almost a fight broke out. It didn't break out. Then a lady comes walking in deranged, screaming, walking up to everybody, screaming at everyone. So now, like, the lady that was screaming was African American. So now, in hindsight, it's like, oh, well, I can't subdue her because she's black and I'm white. But the two guys that almost got in a fight, they were white, so I could subdue or break that up and not be called the murderer or racist.
I strongly recommend you don't try to subdue anyone, but I understand your point. I understand the point that you're making. And let's be real. Let's be brutally honest with each other. If you are accused of a crime in Manhattan, you've got big problems if you happen to be white. If you are black, you don't have a problem. Black on black crime, let it go. Who cares? Nobody looks at it. The district attorney says, oh, he's such a victim. He's such a victim. But if you're white, you better have deep pockets for attorneys and for a trial. Andrew, quickly before I move on to the next call.
Yes, and I was thinking then later I would now have to look for an African-American man to subdue the lady, that if she threatens or grabs someone, there's a young black guy. I'll ask him to subdue her and not me. So I
recommend you don't do that because you might get punched in the face. But Andrew, thank you for the call. Liz in in Florida. Liz, what's on your mind?
Oh, Dominic, if the Israelis were involved, the drones over Jersey and Brooklyn would be dust by now after first sighting. And the problem is that there's no one in the White House giving any orders, and I just hope nothing will go down before Trump is sworn in.
So you're saying, because I think we missed the first part of your comment, Liz. You're saying that if Trump was in office, they would have been shot down immediately.
Oh, for sure.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
No doubt about it. He's not going to take this. No.
Ask questions later, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If he doesn't know and no one knows who they are, they don't belong here. They're the enemy. And you get rid of them. That's what Israel does.
Fair enough. Good point, Liz. Thank you for the wonderful call. Let's go to Chris in New Jersey. Chris, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic. Yeah, the drones. I think it's a test run for something bigger.
I hope not. Are you surprised that the issue has not been dealt with as of yet?
I am.
And you believe it's a much bigger plot at play here?
Well, yeah, I think Murphy does know because he would have showed up to that meeting today.
Right. So, because he didn't show up to a meeting, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, But I hear you. Thank you very much for the call, Chris. Let's stay in New Jersey. Kevin, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. I kind of live close to the Arsenal, Picatinny Arsenal, and they said the drones are flying over the Arsenal. I guarantee you, well, I don't know. I know as much as anybody else, but I really think they're ours. I really think they're the U.S. government's because we have 3 arsenals in New Jersey. If anything invades their airspace, they are toast. No matter what the president says, they're finished. It goes to DEFCON 1 right away. So I wanted to get your thoughts on that. I really believe they're ours.
I don't know. I really don't know, Kevin. I wasn't aware of this situation until Curtis Lewer brought it up yesterday. I find it intriguing. I find it. I'm not at the stage yet of worrying about it, but it is a concern. So I'm going to leave it at that until I know more information. Thank you for the call, Kevin. Let's go to Rich. Rich, line 2 in Westchester County, New York. Rich, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I can't believe one of the left-wing pundits the other day saying that the trial of O.J. Simpson and then the subsequent civil trial where he was found guilty is the same as the Penny one. That's ridiculous. Penny claims that nobody claimed that Penny wasn't there. O.J. Simpson said he wasn't there. So there's 2 different factoids going on here.
What they're trying to say is along racial lines for some in the black community that the vindication of O.J. was justice for black people, which has got to be the dumbest thing I have ever heard in my entire life. The man committed murder and should have went to jail in that case. A bigger message from the OJ trial, and what they're saying with Penny is that a black victim, the black victim, and the white Marine just took his life, but they don't want to tell you the whole story. They don't want to tell you about the 40 arrests for Mr. Neely. They don't want to tell you about his drug use. They don't want to be honest. So that's how they're making the comparison. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Sandra in New Jersey. Sandra, what's on your mind?
Oh, good afternoon, Dominic. I was thinking, with all the unsettling news that we hear, I'm delighted to learn that Alina Habba took the position as counselor to President Trump. If we remember, Conway, what's her name again? I forgot her name, but Kellyanne Conway had that job, and that was a very important position because she was right aside Donald Trump. And who better for this job than Alina Habba? And also, I'm also happy because the first job that was offered to her, I felt was a little bit, she was too qualified for that. But this job, I'm so happy. It's perfect for her. What do you think, Dominic?
Wait, what was the first job she was offered? Do you remember? Was that the press secretary
yes.
job? That was her. That was her. See, we got to be careful, Sandra. When people are floating their names, people have a self-interest. Now, I don't know if she floated it, but somebody close, she was never going to be press secretary. She does not have the experience to be press secretary. One would want to be the press secretary because of the high-profile nature. We have to be very, very careful. That was just what's called a trial balloon. And after it blew up in her face, she backed down from it immediately and said that that's not something that she was interested in. Thank you for the call, Sandra. Folks, we have to be very, very careful with trial balloons. Let's go to Mary in Hoboken, New Jersey. Mary, what's on your mind?
Oh, Hoboken Mary calling.
Hello, Mary.
I just wanted to change the subject just a little bit to thank you in person right here on the phone for the beautiful shirts that you gave me the day of your book signing and the cups that I love.
You know why, Mary? Because you're a special person. You're always positive. And, I don't, Mary, you think like a 21-year-old. Your game is tight, Mary. I mean, I'm not going to ask you your age because it's inappropriate to ask a woman her age. But, it was so.
I'm so proud, really, Dominic. I'm so proud to be 85, Dominic. I'm very proud.
Wow.
Because I worked till I was 80. And I'm very happy these past
Wait a minute,
5 years.
Mary, you worked until you were 80 years old?
That's right, at New Jersey Transit in Hoboken.
So what's the secret? What's the secret?
Oh my God! You think vodka? I don't know, Dominic. And Dominic, I'm reading your book, Dominic. I'm not a good reader, but I'm reading it, and it's so heartwarming. Believe me, when I'm reading it, Dominic, I'm reading a few pages at a time.
Well, Mary, thank you. Mary, I'm going to move on to one more call, but anytime you want to call, I want to hear from you. Hoboken, Mary, is the real deal. You and Lisa from Nutley, you pulled it off. You were the ambassador for the event, and you did very, very well. I can't believe you said you're 85?
85, Dominic.
Wow.
And I gave Ingrid the book that you signed to Ingrid. Remember you signed the book to Ingrid?
Yes.
I gave it to her just this past Saturday. She's very happy, Dominic.
Well, thank you.
And I want to thank you again.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you for all that you do for others. One quick more call before Curtis Lee with Gail in Cortland. Gail, what's on your mind?
Dominic, hi, love you.
Love you too.
I have a question for you. Do you think the Diddy case is going to turn into an Epstein case where we don't know anything?
Absolutely. He knows too much on too many A-list stars and powerful politicians and powerful business people all doing the freaky deaky. He knows it on everybody. Yes, this is the next Epstein case. Absolutely, Gail. I wish I could follow up. I just don't have time right now. Time for us to take a break. Coming up on the other side, Curtis Lewa.
And now, it's time for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation Final Thoughts.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation does phenomenal work, and I don't say that lightly. With me now, The great one, Curtis Sliwa. I know you don't like when I say that because of Mark Levin, but what's on your mind today?
Well, since November 18th, drones everywhere. Half in the bag. Murphy, governor of New Jersey, said, we have to have a conference. They conducted a conference earlier today. Guess who didn't show up? Half in the bag Murphy. He must have been on a bender. And then all of a sudden you have the congressman who was from.
But wait. Why do you call the governor half in the bag? I know what it means and on a bender. I've covered him. I've never seen him under the influence of alcohol.
Well, that's because during the day he shakes a little bit, and then at 5 o'clock it's happy hour, and then he's happy too. And he's half in the bag half the day.
And so if you ever see Murphy in person, what does he say to you? Because his wife is no joke. She's the type that will curse you out, Mr. Sliwa.
Yeah, well, look at his hair after 5 o'clock, and all you need to know. He calls a meeting today about this crisis, and he doesn't even show up. So who did you have? Gottheimer there from Bergen County. He says, I know what the drones are, but it's none of your business. Everything's okay. And then you had the Republican congressman who said, hey, it's an Iranian mothership off the coast sending the smaller drones into New Jersey, and the U.S. government said not. So now we have a license. Government, you have failed us. You don't even know what the hell's going on. So I'm asking all patriots out there where they fought the revolution against the Brits to get your Winchester shotgun, aim it in the air like you just don't care, and shoot those damn drones down. We'll find out real quick whose drones they are.
Are you serious?
Damn right! Are you kidding? This is an invasion of America by drones. We can't even stop these drones. How the hell would we stop an actual attack on America?
Okay, but wait a minute. Governor Murphy and others say the moment you spot the drone, it goes dark.
Oh, yeah. That's why he's half in the bag. He's staring at the drone, and it goes dark. Shoot the damn drones out of the sky, and then we'll find out. We'll have the documentary evidence. And then they can cry, oh, my poor drone here, CIA. Oh, so you're messing with the people of New Jersey, criminals in action. I don't trust the national security agencies.
But the Pentagon says they're not from Iran. They're not from an adversary.
Yes, so what it is, one guy playing with his joystick. Come on. And by the way, the man whose voice is leading into your program at 12 midnight.
Oh, here we go.
Dominic Carter. I love Dominic Carter. Eric Adams, swagger man with no plan, had a conference about retail theft, shoplifting, packages being stolen, which has had an epidemic performance. No Timothy Pearson, his homeboy, as you know, he resigned because he was corrupt. So he held a conference. Every DA was there, or they sent a representative, except for who? Alvin Bragg. No Alvin Bragg, no ADA, no representative of the Manhattan District Attorney's Office.
Maybe.
Because the man will not name and shame him.
Maybe the district attorney taking a few days off?
No, maybe it's because he's got Eric Ulrich by the short hairs, and Eric Adams does not want to be like Eric Ulrich. Still hasn't tried him for corruption, has he?
Thank you, Curtis. Folks, all it takes is $11 a month. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation at T2T.org.